faire de dons, comme ils le faisaient auparavant.
Bon, elles ne sont plus incitées fiscalement à donner.
En termes de dons ISF, nous avons perdu 850 000 €.
Hello and welcome to France in Focus. This week we're talking about charitable giving. And we're starting here on the banks of the River Seine in the heart of Paris, where an exceptional boat is docked. Les Péniches du Cœur, an offshoot of the charity Les Restos du Cœur, which for decades has been helping some of France's poorest people. This barge is actually a homeless shelter with space on board for 70 men to sleep in warmth and safety. But like many charities in France, Les Restos du Cœur has noticed a worrying drop in donations in recent years. So has the French public got charity fatigue? And if so, why? Here are some explanations.
It's been a car crash year for charitable associations. 2018 saw a dramatic drop in overall donations, despite half of the population regularly putting their hands in their pockets. According to the organisation France Générosité, a collective of 91 charities, while they usually collect 2.9 billion euros annually, last year that figure dropped by 200 million euros. One theory for this reduction, the scrapping of the wealth tax. Known as the ISF, the tax applied to people whose fortunes exceeded 1.3 million euros. Until 2017, they could receive a 75% tax break on charitable donations, up to 50,000 euros.
Elles donnent moins tout simplement parce que
People are giving less, quite simply because fiscally, there's no benefit to their giving. The number of donations for our foundation has gone down by at least 3 million euros. Our budget is going to be smaller. This is a real worry for those in charge of the association.
On the 30th of June 2018, the date that taxable wealth is declared, donations made by the wealthiest in France dropped by 58%, or 150 million euros. Another potential reason for the reduction, the increase in CSG income tax, introduced in 2018.
It's gone from 6.6 to 8.3%.
The CSG is a tax on all kinds of income. The money goes towards financing social security and unemployment payments. Its increase has hit pensioners hard, and they make up 60% of charitable donors.
You get this kind of reply. We can't donate anything this year. I don't have enough to be able to give. I'm stretched to the limit, I'm afraid. The reason that most people give is the increase in CSG tax. Spending power has gone down because of the increase, and people can't donate what they used to.
One retired donor in 5 plans to reduce, stop, or delay their donations. And the trend is likely to spread to the rest of the population with the introduction of PAYE, or pay-as-you-earn tax this year, as tax is going to be taken from people's paychecks each month, making them feel more pinched. While most countries use this method, in France the complexity of the system is likely to put off donors. One study estimates that 28% of people affected by the new method of tax are likely to change their donations. The government has said that overall tax will stay the same. But for French citizens who have neither the time nor the inclination to study the new fiscal reforms, many prefer to wait for the evidence in their bank account.
The Restos du Cœur charity was launched in 1985 and is best known for distributing free meals. Last year, they served up 130 million of them. We've come to one of their distribution centres in the 10th arrondissement of Paris.
Je passais 6 mois avec le pain et l'eau. Oui. Mais maintenant, quand même, ça va. C'est bien.
Comment vous feriez s'il n'y avait pas les restos?
Peut-être je fais la manche. Sûr et certain. Parce que je ne peux rien faire. Le travail, il n'y a pas. J'ai 53 ans. Et ben voilà.
We met up with Bernard Vaginet, who's the head of donations for the Restos du Cœur. Hello, thank you for having us. To what extent have you noticed a drop in donations?
We
were worried at the start of our collection campaign because we were seeing a 4% drop in donations compared to last year, which translates to a 6% drop in our budget. Since then, the situation has improved because today we're at about a 3% drop in our budget, or 3% fewer donations collected than last year.
Do you think you will end up distributing fewer meals?
No, you'd assume that it would mean we'd be doing fewer distributions. But that's not what happens. We start by making savings, but especially by calling upon our biggest donors, businesses or sponsors. And they're usually quite responsive to our urgent requests, because they know that if we say it's urgent, there's a real problem. We make sure not to over-solicit our donors or sponsors. They know the problem is serious if the president of our foundation is calling or writing to them. So for now, we're getting by.
Are you worried about the situation with donations today?
Yes, we're worried. The forecast doesn't look good. The fiscal context in France is the reason many of our donors are giving less. People's incomes have fallen because of changes to taxes on pensioners in particular, and pensioners make up the bulk of our donors. And there are other fiscal reasons that have impacted our resources. For instance, the replacement of the ISF wealth tax with the IFI tax. We lost 850,000 euros in ISF donations, which is far from negligible. 850,000 euros that we were using to help people go back to work. We're also hoping that the new income tax method won't have a negative impact. The system has been improved for donors, but does this new system still need to be better explained and better understood?
What is your strategy for coping with this situation?
Our strategy
is to improve how we function, so we are more efficient and decrease our running costs, even if our costs are already very low. 8% including collection costs, which is very low compared to other similar-sized charitable organizations. We also want to expand donations in kind. There's a lot of potential for that in France that we haven't yet exploited. For instance, from the agriculture industry, like fruit, milk, meat, vegetables, etc. Or another solution is the way big companies sponsor us. They could provide us with free services that would allow us to make savings, and we could then put these savings towards our budgets for food or the social work we do.
Thank you very much, Bernard Vaginet. More and more charities are looking to reach out to young people. But how do they attract youthful donors? Well, increasingly, many are turning to new technology, from online video game marathons to web appeals.
Hi guys, thanks for joining me live. Today we're going to play with Leopold. Thanks Alvaro, thanks King Ju.
Pierre just logged on to Twitch, an online gaming platform where he has thousands of followers.
You have to arm yourself to fight.
Pierre used his popularity to help the research effort into genetic diseases, organising a video game marathon last December with other online influencers as part of a national fundraising event. They got together to play for 30 hours straight, while encouraging viewers to donate.
I told people if we get to 30,000, then I'll change my hairstyle. As you can see, we got to 30,000. And for 50,000 euros, well, I've now got a new tattoo. I've already got all sorts of tattoos, so it doesn't really bother me.
And it was well worth the effort. Pierre and his team raised 57,000 euros.
The fact that it was done online with my favourite streamers, well, I see myself in them and it motivates me to help their cause. It's a new, simpler way of donating.
Pierre himself has muscular dystrophy. and it was important to him to inform his followers about the cause.
First, I spoke for an hour about my experience, and then we had an hour for questions from people in the chat. And we had researchers, patients, and parents of patients taking part in the discussion. It's important to raise awareness and to show them a fuller picture, and mostly to be transparent about the donations.
More and more charities are now collaborating with influencers. Another video game marathon, the Z Event, helped raise money for charities like Save the Children, the Red Cross, and Doctors Without Borders.
It gives us exposure and the chance to reach a younger public. The event demonstrated to us its enormous fundraising potential.
In 2018, the Z Event broke its own record, raising over €1 million for Doctors Without Borders.
That's all we've got time for on this week's France in Focus. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon on France 24.